Listen closely, and I mean really listen, because we have reached the monumental 70th milestone of this long and rugged journey. And in the year 2026, the system has successfully and insidiously tricked the entire world into living in a state of perpetual, frantic right now. They want you obsessively focused on the next 30 seconds of a mind-numbing video, the next meaningless digital transaction, and the next fleeting outrage designed to keep your blood pressure high and your focus low. The architects of this age want a man who has no ancestral past to draw strength from and who plans for no significant future beyond the next paycheck or the next social media trend. But Andrew here, and today we are unlocking the 70th vault of the Hidden Edge archives, the Sovereign Legacy. We are decoding John Wayne's ultimate and most profound master doctrine on building something that the fierce digital winds of 2026 cannot blow away and the prying hands of the state cannot easily seize or corrupt. You see, the Duke didn't just build a successful career. He built a legendary archetype, a cultural monument that has survived and thrived for nearly a century because it was anchored in timeless, universal truths of character and grit. In the year 2026, the word legacy is the most radical, dangerous, and powerful act of rebellion a man can commit. While the masses are blindly consuming themselves into a state of total oblivion and irrelevance, the sovereign man is quietly and deliberately laying the heavy, granite foundation stones for a dynasty that will breathe, grow, and dominate long after his own physical body has returned to the earth. Doctor, record this opening protocol for the year 2026. The man who lives only for his own temporary comfort is already a walking ghost, but the man who builds with a vision for the next 3 generations is the only one who is truly immortal. We are moving from mere survival to absolute dominance today, and we are starting with the stone, the soil, and the unbreakable spirit of the ancestors. Analyze the logic of continuity with me, because in the year 2026, everything purely digital is inherently fragile. It can be deleted, censored, deplatformed, or frozen by a single nameless bureaucrat's keystroke in a darkened room. To build a sovereign legacy that lasts, you must inevitably return to the physical realm with a vengeance. We are decoding the Duke's sacred land ownership philosophy. John Wayne knew with every fiber of his being that a man without his own land is a man without a country, and a man without a country is a man without a future or a defense. In the year 2026, your legacy begins with this sanctuary of soil, a physical piece of the earth where the system's reach is limited by geography, and where your word remains the absolute law of the land. We are teaching you the multi-generational financial strategy of the elite frontier families. This is not about hoarding rapidly devaluing paper currency. It is about the aggressive accumulation of hard assets, land, gold, specialized skills, and robust bloodlines. While the rest of the world is frantically chasing digital mirages and crypto vapor, you are securing the tactical high ground. Your sovereign circle from episode 68 must now evolve into a sovereign clan. You must view your family and your closest, most trusted allies not just as a casual social unit, but as a sovereign entity with its own internal economy, its own secret defense protocol, and its own carefully preserved oral history. Doctor, examine the Duke's hidden records on the Eternal Ranch, the way he sought to build a world where his children and his grandchildren could stand firmly on their own feet, entirely independent of the industry's whims or the state's permission. In 2026, if you don't build a fortress for your family name today, the machine will ensure it is erased from the record before the decade is even out. We are digging the trenches and building the walls now. In the third, deeper, and more critical layer of the 70th protocol, we master the art of cultural transmission. In the year 2026, the system is obsessed with cultural amnesia. They desperately want your children to forget your name, forget your values, and forget the heavy cost of your struggle. To be a true legacy builder, you must become the chief architect of truth for your own lineage, the gatekeeper of your family's history. We are decoding the frontier education that the schools have long since abandoned. The Duke didn't just leave his sons a pile of money. He left them a code of conduct, a set of behavioral laws that were more valuable than any bank account could ever be. In 2026, you must build a living archive within the very walls of your home. You must teach the young ones the stories of the men who came before them, the calculated risks you took in episode 67, and the dangerous urban shadows you navigated with such precision in episode 69. You are building an internal mythology that no state-controlled school or social media platform can ever hope to penetrate or dismantle. We are teaching you psychological resilience for the next generation, ensuring that the fire of liberty is passed on without being extinguished by the cold winds of conformity. They must be raised to be anti-fragile, to look at the chaos and the uncertainty of the future not with trembling fear, but with the cold, calculating, and hungry eye of a conqueror. This is succession planning at its highest, most tactical level. You are not just raising children to be good citizens. You are forging sovereign leaders who will carry the Edge doctrine into the 22nd century with pride. Doctor, record this. The greatest, most enduring inheritance you can ever leave is a mind that simply cannot be conquered or bought. We are ensuring the absolute continuity of the sovereign spirit today, and we are making it bulletproof against the relentless propaganda of the age. Analyze the gravity of authority within the hidden 17th archive. Real power in the year 2026 isn't found in a temporary title, a political office, or a verified badge on a screen. It is found in timeless authority. John Wayne's authority didn't come from a script written by someone else. It came from the undeniable fact that he was exactly the same man on the screen as he was off the screen. A man of his word, a man of ironclad will, and a man of consistent action. We are decoding the Duke's presence. To leave a legacy that matters, you must become a reference point for your family and your community. Even in the crushing silence and the digital fog of 2026, people should be able to look at the way you conduct your life and see a clear map for their own survival and their own dignity. This is sovereign leadership through extreme, unwavering example. We are teaching you the code of the long view. While the system tries to distract you and deplete your energy with the crisis of the day, you are focused entirely on the century of the name. You must have the discipline to make difficult decisions today that your great-grandchildren will thank you for while they stand safely on the land you secured and use the lethal skills you taught them. This is how we defeat the planned obsolescence of the human soul. The Duke understood that a man's simple silhouette on the horizon can guide 1,000 lost and weary travelers. In the year 2026, you must become that steady silhouette for your clan. Doctor, look at the Duke's final interviews. The absolute clarity of a man who knew with certainty that he had finished the race and left the trail in a better, more sovereign state than he found it. We are finishing our own race today with that same ironclad certainty and that same refusal to bow to the mediocre. We are closing this monumental, historic 70th chapter with this sovereign proclamation of the eternal dynasty. Take a long, hard look at the cultural landscape of 2026. It is nothing but a vast, silent graveyard of broken promises, shattered dreams, and forgotten men who lived for absolutely nothing but the momentary pleasure of the flesh. But as long as Andrew is broadcasting from these vaults, as long as you are listening with intent, that will never, ever be your story. John Wayne's shadow is long because his feet were planted in the truth, and his legacy is a fortress because it was built on the granite of character, not the shifting sands of celebrity or convenience. In the year 2026, your sovereign legacy is the final, absolute, and total victory over the machine. It is the living proof that a single free man can stand his ground, build his clan, and pass his torch through the darkest and most violent storms of human history. This is Andrew, signing off from the 70th vault of the Edge archives, hidden deep in the ancient mountains where the stone itself remembers the names of the strong and the silent. The system wants you to be a vapor, a puff of meaningless smoke in the digital wind, but as long as you build with the legacy protocol, you are the mountain itself. Go out there today and plant the seeds of a massive forest you may never sit under. Build the walls that will protect those who are yet to be born. Stay rugged. Stay focused on the furthest horizon. Stay completely, unapologetically sovereign as you carve your name into the very heart of time and the memory of the earth. We have finally reached the high ground, partner. The mission, Our eternal, sacred, and unbreakable mission of sovereign continuity is no longer just a goal. It is now your destiny. Andrew out.